Wow. This movie is hilarious. This is a crazy mess of all sorts of things. At this time, I still don't honestly know if I should consider this a parody or a comedy or if I should actually be taking it seriously. But let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for Karen. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, they were running amok in real life, harassing all types of black people, just minding their own business. And BET decided to come out with an original movie titled Karen. And here we are right here on IMDb. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, you may have saw this. I did react to the trailer. If you guys want to go check that out, there is a link down to that down in the description box below. But we all know who Karens are, but now we have a movie about it coming out this year. I believe the release date was the other day ago, the September 3rd, short run time at 1 hour and 29 minutes. And I was just saying to myself, man, I cannot wait to see this. It looked like something that you would laugh at, something that you just don't want to take too seriously, but I was here for it. Now, this is being written and directed by Mr. Coke Daniels. I am not too familiar with him. Here's his filmography right here. If you are familiar with this work, please comment down below if you are a fan of not. And this stars Taryn Manning, who has been around for quite some time in the acting game. She was in Hustle and Flow, of course. She has over 87 credits. I mean, a lot of people know who she is. And this picture right here, she's very recognizable. But, when you go to her right here, I guess they did a decent job of transforming her into somebody different. It does. I'm not the biggest, Taryn Manning fan. I know of the actress, but I just couldn't, initially recognize her when I first started seeing all this marketing material right here. But let's go ahead and get into this movie. Y'all saw my intro, and so let me go ahead and tell you exactly what this thing is about. A racist woman takes it as a personal mission to displace the new black family that just moved into the neighborhood, but they won't back down without a fight. All right, guys, so just to let you know, my expectations were super low for this. I wasn't expecting this to be great, good, or anything like that. I was going into this thinking, hey, I'm just going to get a good laugh. This is going to be silly, over the top, and ridiculous. And, it goes without saying that my prediction is true. Yes, it is all of those things. And I'm possibly sure you predicted all those things too. Now, that doesn't go to say that there isn't anything in this movie that I did not like, because there are a few handful of things, a few sprinkles that we can go over right now. One of them is, just let me look at the cast real quick. First, we have Miss Jasmine Burke right here, who is playing Imani. She's the wife. And Corey Hardwick, who is playing Malik. And they are a couple. I'm not too familiar with her work right here, Miss Jasmine Burke. But, I thought she did a decent job in the film, as well as this brother right here, Corey Hardwick. If you're subscribed to my channel and you've heard me talk about, black couples and black love on screen all the time, that is something that I will always support. And so they did look great together as a loving married couple. Also, I thought the acting from these two was fine as well. This is not some A-starred movie. This is a B movie, a B-grade movie. You may even consider it a C-grade movie. And so with that being considered, with that being concerned, I will have to admit that the acting from the two main leads was at the very least, subpar. It was fair. It was serviceable. It worked for the film. And not only from her, but also from Taryn Manning, the antagonist in this film, the Karen, the evil, racist, white supremacist woman. The acting from her was great as well. And so I just want to go ahead and say that those are just some of the things that I did like about this film, is that the black couple looked great on screen. That was great. And also the acting from the three main leads, the two protagonists and the one antagonist, Karen, it was serviceable. Pretty much after that, guys, there really isn't anything that I liked in this film, and that is to be expected. This whole thing was over the top. And one of the things that I noticed early on in the film that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is, in real life, we know that Karens cannot mind their own business. They're obsessed with black people, just trying to eavesdrop on every single thing that they think we're doing and try to have control and dominance over us. You know, we can be, you know, just completely innocent and, you know, they want to tattletale. Well, in this film right here, I mean, the black couple actually gave Karen a valid reason to be upset a time or two. And I don't understand why you will write that into the story. I mean, that's not even how it goes down in real life. And I don't want to spoil anything for you here, just in case you are interested in seeing the film. And please go, you know, see the film however you please. I'm pretty sure it's streaming right now somewhere. But I was just kind of saying to myself, okay, if I was a neighbor of these black people and you was doing this right here, I would be kind of, you know, raising an eyebrow, kind of looking at you sideways too, like, you know, hey, this is my situation right here. This is what I'm trying to do over here. But what you're doing right now is interfering. If you want to be a good neighbor, you know, please don't do that. I want to spoil it for you. Maybe I will at the end of this review, but I was kind of just saying to myself, why are you giving Karen, you know, some ammunition? That really just doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, hey, that's what they decided to put in the film. The next thing that I don't like about this film is nothing is a smooth transition in this film. It just jumps from scene to scene to scene to scene, and it does not flow at all. It is not seamless at all in any way, shape, or form. It's just like they had a bag or a checklist. I'm like, okay, what we need a black couple, check. We need a racist Karen, check. Okay, we need a scene to where the woman is loving the man, showing how great of a man he is, check. We need the exact same thing for a woman, check. We need more racism, like sprinkle that in here. And it's like going down a list without having, you know, some cohesive narrative that, you know, progresses along, you know, for an audience to enjoy themselves. And it's not, it's just that they just threw a whole bunch of stuff in there and wanted to make it fit. And it just really doesn't fit. Also, I talked about the acting and how it was great from the three main leads. It kind of stops right there. There is a racist cop in this film. Of course, you know, he has to be in the film too. He is the sibling of the Karen. So you just know that they're teaming up, doing all types of nefarious schemes and stuff like that. It's like the person that they really had in for this role, you know, sued the company or something, like cut all my scenes out of the movie, and they had to just pick somebody off the street last minute. I don't understand how the acting from this racist cop was just so bad in this movie, even with this being a B or C movie. It just doesn't really add up to me, especially when you're comparing that to the roles of the three main leads that actually did a decent job. I mean, I am not an actor. I could not act my way out of a paper bag, if that makes sense. But I can honestly say with confidence that I could have done a better job than the officer in this film right here. Something else that I didn't really just like about this film is they kind of made a mockery on the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Now, that was in the film at certain points, and it came up, and it didn't flow either. It was very all over the place and just really forced in. But towards the end of the film, you know, let's look at this cast again real quick. I have to show you, because there is somebody in real life that is playing themselves. You know, what we have right here, Benjamin Crump. Oh man, a lot of you know who Benjamin Crump is. Yes, Benjamin Crump is in this movie, and I didn't really like his involvement in it. That was actually one of the lowest points in the film to me. When I saw him pop up, you know, that's where I got the, you know, negative sour taste in my mouth. Like, okay, this just kind of seems distasteful and like they're cashing in on an opportunity. And I really don't appreciate that. It just really didn't make me feel good on, you know, the inside. Other than that actual bad moment that is genuine to my heart, everything else was just laughably bad, you know, cringe-worthy bad. I mean, just like all the racial slurs and dialogue and thrown back and forth in this movie, it was hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. I mean, they have, this is a neighborhood, so of course you're going to have the HOA Homeowners Association. And when they're having those meetings, when they're going down, that was some of the funniest stuff to me, because it was just so ridiculous. I mean, you know, you have Karen in there, she's spouting all of her BS, and then you have just other people trying to be allies, not really allies, racist, but not really knowing that you're racist, but you think you're doing good. it was crazy, ridiculous, and funny. And so if you decide to see the film, just go ahead and enjoy those scenes because they tickle me the most. Just one line of dialogue that one lady said was just so ridiculous and over the top. And when they cut to somebody else's face to see their reaction, I was laughing my behind off. That was one of the highlights of this film. So if you want to go in and see a comedy, I mean, they have stuff like that sprinkled all over this film right here. And it's just that's another thing that this film just kind of sucks, unfortunately. It's just like the dialogue itself is just not realistic, you know, in any way. No one talks like this, you know, just like, oh, I mean, you'll just have to see it for yourself. But when black people are amongst themselves sitting around trying to come up with solutions and a way to raise ourselves up the economic ladder and discuss all the injustices, there's just certain things that we say and certain things that we don't say. I mean, we talk a certain way and we don't talk this way. I mean, we're not over here saying, man, I am just so tired of these racist cops. Black lives matter. Yes, Black lives matter. Like, black people aren't sitting around talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't believe it at all. And like, that's in this movie. And so you just like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, who wrote this thing? It was this guy right here, Coke Daniels. You know what I'm saying? He wrote it. I don't know what he was thinking. I just have to be honest with you there. And so, I mean, that's just like all throughout the film. And Karen she's childish as hell. She is childish and petty level 9,000 in this movie. And I mean, she is obsessed with these black people and they took it someplace. So I was like, whoa, I didn't think you was going to take it there. This is funny. This is coming out of nowhere. And that just goes to like some of these white supremacists, how they're obsessed with us and have like this sexual fetish fantasy and stuff like that. That was kind of, dip your toes in the water there too. And I was just like, wow. This is interesting, but there is some truth to it. But all of the accusations that are thrown at black people in this movie are just like, this is just crazy. Like, there's no way you can get away with this. Like, stop it. I mean, and that's the ironic thing about it is because in real life, all these injustices happen, from police brutality, even if it is recorded cameras and stuff like that. And they get away with a lot of it. And so they're getting away with it in this movie too. And so, but it's just, on a different scale. But in this movie right here, it's turned up to 50 and it's only supposed to go up to 10. I mean, I would just like, if you just think about the ending finale of this movie, and I'm just like, this is just so wacky, weird, and random. Like, why did you think that this would work? It just wouldn't. And like, I really encourage you to see this film so you could just know what I'm talking about, because the way it just goes down, the final showdown, I'm just like, my goodness gracious, like the level of reaching that they went to, I don't want to say sound woke, but I guess attach themselves to the black community. They're like, hey, I'm pretty sure you can get down this way. I mean, like, man, this movie brings new meaning to, bringing a knife to a gunfight. I'll just say that. And like, you're just going to be shaking your head. Like, this is just some insane stupidity from hell. Like, I wouldn't even bring out the Bleach because, I mean, this is a B grade movie. It's a C grade movie. And so, I mean, I didn't expect, I expected it to be this ridiculous and I'm still surprised. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy, just mop bucket mixture of random dumbness. And I don't even know if that's a word, but I mean, there's just so much in this movie that's just illogical to me. And even going back to the mockery, I mean, they over exaggerate on so much. Imagine if I was chewing gum and I swallowed it here on accident and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I don't know what to do. I just swallowed my gum and it's going to be stuck in my stomach for 7 years. Ugh! That would be crazy if I reacted that way just because I swallowed a piece of gum. Does anybody swallow a piece of gum in this movie and react that way? No. But the things that they are reacting to that way in this movie, again, you're just like, oh my God. Is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be a comedy, or am I supposed to take this seriously? I don't know. It's just that bad at certain points in this film. And they just also could have gave you a better way of depicting how Karens really are. I mean, it's just not that hard. It is not that hard. And again, just another example of how they just went over the top of this movie. There are tons of videos on YouTube, online, social media that you can reference to depict a better Karen. I want y'all to see this movie for the finale because it's just so bonkers, bonkers, bonkers. But if I had to rate this film out of a 1 out of 10, again, I wouldn't give it a rating. I would just say it's a ridiculous, crazy mess out of 10, but that was expected. You know, still watch it. I'm not trying to tell nobody not to watch it or anything like that. But I do want to know from you. Let me know, guys. Tell me in the comment section if you've ever experienced a Karen, how it went down. Let me know all of your Karen situations or some that you have heard of. Also, let me know what you thought about this film as well, or even if you've heard about it, and just talk about Karens in the comments. But guys, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And guys, before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.